Hi, I'm Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning in to My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Well, this week we're in San Bernardino, California for the 14th annual Route 66 Rendezvous. This is a wild event. They're expecting somewhere around 3,000 cars and over 500,000 people for this 4-day, 3-night cruise fest that takes up 35 blocks of downtown San Bernardino. But before we put the pedal to the metal on this one, here's Shelley McNall to fill us in on a little bit of the background of Route 66.
Hi, Dennis. Great to have you back.
Oh, it's great to be back, Shelley. And the event is wilder than it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's every third weekend in September, the streets come alive.
They do come alive,
Yeah.
and I mean alive. It's all about cruising.
Yes, the cars are the stars, and that's what it's all about.
And the streets are just lined with folks.
Yeah, cars come from all over the place, and they bring their families down, they sit by their cars.
Well, you do have lots and lots of stuff going on besides just the show and shines and the cruising. What all's happening?
We have a Burnout Contest, open header all day Saturday, so the streets are loud. And we have a poker run, flame throwing. We have a carnival this year, and you know, it's something that the families can get involved with, fixing up the cars, helping their dad or their parents shine them. So they really get involved.
And all this California sun, I mean,
it's a great day. It's awesome.
so there's you got a lot of folks in. You launched the Cruisin Hall of Fame, didn't you?
Yes, it's a new museum that we have that will be opening in 2004.
Well, you got some other. I mean, you got some celebs in. I've seen Parnelli Jones.
Yeah, he's a new inductee this year.
So you got a lot of support to this.
Yeah.
There's a big kind of cruise kickoff or celeb cruise at noon, right?
Yeah, there's a celebrity cruise at noon, which you are the Grand Cruiser.
The Grand Cruiser. I love it. I do love it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I probably won't be in this monster here. I remember this from last year, the flamethrower.
Yeah, this thing gets heat.
Get some heat. Well, let's see if we can find the owner and get this
Okay.
baby fired up, okay?
Okay.
Route 66 was America's highway before the interstates were built, and every third weekend in September, the streets of San Bernardino, California come alive to celebrate this historic road. In addition to thousands of cool cars, I ran into the mother of all mustaches. Man, I was even humbled by this guy. That thing was almost as crazy as this next Camaro. Dave, 69 Camaro, but man, what a monster.
That is.
I mean, this is Route 66 Rendezvous right here. I mean, it's sort of a street machine show anyway. This is it, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to think so.
And you got, I mean, inside, you got it all going on. I mean, you're full race, right? Pretty much?
Pretty much.
So,
Got the tubs, I got a Jeffco trans, I run a dual disc McLeod clutch in it.
got a nitrous bottle back there?
I got 2 nitrous bottles back there.
Of course.
Can't have enough.
Can't have enough. Well, you've obviously got the bottles back here because you can't have any trunk left. You
No.
got it seriously tubbed. How big are the tires?
They're 1733s.
Holy cow! All the way back to chute and the wheelie bars. So what do we got? What do we got powering this here?
We got a big block nitrous Chevrolet motor. You're looking at a complete roller big block. It's got, with the nitrous, about a little over 1,100 horsepower.
1,100 horse. You know, that's respectable. That's very
Yeah.
respectable.
Yeah, makes it scoot.
I bet it does. So you having a good time at the Rendezvous?
Oh, I'm having a great time.
Hey, it's a great event, and this is a great machine, man.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thanks for bringing it out. This is Route 66. Cool things can happen at the Rendezvous, like with this eye-catching 69 Mach 1. After a couple years of showing it here, Steve Stang was photographed and then made into a model by the Revell Company. So if you happen to see this little number at your local store, remember, the model was inspired by the car, not the other way around. Armand, this is incredible. What a stretch you got on this baby. What is
Yeah.
1962, right?
62.
It's the only one here.
The only one built for a consumer.
Wow. So what's the story? When
The
when did they build?
railroad, well, back when they started the railroads, the first one to order them, they ordered 3, and this gentleman used to be a subcontractor for the railroad. So he asked them if they could build one for his family because they used to do a lot of camping. They said, sure,
So he custom built this thing for.
just for him.
What's the engine?
It's a 305 V6 with a Hydromatic 4-speed, all original.
Man, well, you got everything. I mean, you even got the water buffalo air conditioner.
Yeah, special one just for these small windows.
And traffic minder there.
Traffic binder, cigar holders, the one for the clock pocket watch holder there for the magnet, by speedometer on top.
Oh, yeah? Oh man, I love it. You know,
Campus on top.
your color scheme is really nice. It's kind of
Yeah.
beige and cream.
I had it mixed so it would blend in kind of nice.
This baby is a long bed.
It's a long bed. It's an 8-footer, but it just seems longer because the truck is just so long
It's so
itself.
long. I mean, people have got to think you customized this.
Everybody. It's one after another. How did you do it? How many trucks did you cut? A panel? What did you do?
No, man, I bought it this way, right?
Exactly. Everybody, all day long.
This is cool. So you cruise it and everything?
Yeah, I cruise it. I like to enjoy it. I like to have people see it so they know that it was built back then, you know. So
Yeah.
they don't think that they just started. But they built it back then.
It is a cool piece. Armand, this is a beautiful vehicle,
I
man.
really appreciate you enjoying
Thanks
it.
for bringing it down to the Rendezvous.
Thank you, sir.
We love my classic car.
On August 16, 1934, one man set out to break the 24-hour land speed record. The Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah would be the proving grounds. Ab Jenkins was the driver, and the car was a Pierce Arrow called the Ab Jenkins Special. Well, today we're in Hot Springs Village, Arkansas with my good friend John Hollinsworth. John, great to see you,
Hey,
man.
Dennis, nice to have you.
And his really cool shop, but in it is an extremely cool car. The Ab Jenkins 1934 Pierce Arrow Land Speed Record car. This is unbelievable. It is that car, but it isn't, right?
It's awfully close to that.
Tell
car,
me a little bit about this car, John.
Okay. Actually, that's a recreation, Dennis, of a 1934 car that Ab Jenkins built, and it was built at the Pierce Arrow factory in 1933, actually, and they went to the Salt Flats with it. Ab Jenkins had been called back by Pierce Arrow Motor Car Company to help them develop their V12 motor. They took it to the Salt Flats with this motor in it and set multiple records for 24 hours and all kinds of mileage records.
Now this car then, though, sort of disappeared, right?
Yes, sir, it did. The motor probably was used for something else, and the car went south.
It all
So
disappeared.
it disappeared, right.
So you decided to recreate this, and how did you go about that? I mean, it is a 1934 chassis, right?
It is. It is a 1934. Actually, we found the chassis in California.
how about the engine?
Had that shipped here. Found part of the engine in Tucson, part of it in San Antonio. Had the wheels. We found some old Pierce wheels. Had the spokes all cut out of them. New wheels made for the run, and had those built, which are pretty close to what was actually on the car.
And I love this lavish interior that the car had.
Right.
Would this would have been what the original car had, eh?
It does. It is exactly like the original car had. They didn't go much for instrumentation. They were going for the run, so you see, I doubt that they even had a tachometer. We do have a tachometer on there, but
it's only what you need.
It's the oil and the temperature, and they were running for 24 hours flat out. I think they don't need to worry about anything else. So that's,
Well, I find
that's
it
what
interesting that it's a two-seat car. It's a land speed car, and it's two-seater.
Interesting, Dennis. One of the things that we found is that he had a notepad tacked to this seat, and he'd come by the pits. He wanted to communicate with the pits. He'd scribble out a note, pitch it up,
There it
and
goes.
guy to run out and get the note, come back, say, well, I want to stop for a glass of milk the next time around or
But
something.
these were 24-hour endurance runs, Ab running them solo.
Yeah, don't ask me how he did his plumbing, but he never got out of the car. He stayed.
wrote his notes there and
wrote
threw
his
them out.
notes and threw them out. So
Well, now, was
he
the
stayed
whole
right
back end gas tank?
Yeah, pretty much, Dennis. That, of course, they didn't want to make any more stops than necessary, so they had a 150-gallon tank in the back with two fillers, and that was filled again out of these 50-gallon drums in the gravity feed. He had, I think, probably 10 pit stops, but they weren't too long, just long enough
Obviously.
to get the gravity feed fuel in the car.
Well, let's have a look at this V12 engine here.
Okay.
Whoops, come on, baby. There we go. Wow. 6 carbs.
6 carburetors, right? That was one of the modifications that he made when he was back working on the motor. He raised the compression on the heads, changed the valve timing some, and added the carburetors. Obviously, they're set up to run wide open. That isn't something that you would be running to the local grocery store.
No, and then straight pipes off the engine.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Must be, is it tough to synchronize those carbs?
Well, actually, we got those done. Armor Titus, one of our fellows here, worked on those, and Ron Blissett over in Oklahoma City, who's an old Pierce Arrow expert. We got him involved, and interestingly enough, it runs very well. He will even idle, if you can believe that.
Well, you know, this is the part of the show where I usually say, well, what do you say we take it for a spin, John? But I don't know if the folks at Hot Springs Village would
I
care
don't
for
know.
that.
We could probably get the local police to let us get out here. If you want to start it up, we'll try it.
But I know you're going to be on the Salt Flats in October, and you're going to try and recreate Ab's run, right?
We are. We're really looking forward to that.
Well,
It's
if
an
you're going to be
exciting-
there, we're going to be there with you. I
Okay.
can't wait for this,
Okay.
John.
Look
Great job
forward to
on the
it.
car.
Look
This
forward
is going to be a blast.
We'll let you drive it. Even.
Oh, you're talking now. You're talking.
Okay, very good.
October came around, and I met back up with John and the Ab Jenkins Special on the Salt Flats in Utah. The Salt Flats are an amazing place, and things out there aren't always as they seem. I had a chance to meet and talk with Ab Jenkins' son, Marv, who told me how the salt can play tricks on your senses. Things are happening pretty fast. What's it like?
Except on the salt, you don't have anything to gauge it by. It's all, you know, your speed is relative. You get 400 mile an hour in an airplane and you look at the ground, it doesn't look like you're going very fast. Well, that's the same way there. Until you come by the pits and you see the cars and the building stuff there, then you realize you're moving. But the rest of that is just kind of relative because you've lost that perspective at like running 80 mile an hour on the highway and you slow up to 40 mile an hour in a town. So things happen fast, but I think you kind of adhere to anything like that over a period of time to where when it slows up, that's the unusual. You know. Dad would come around at night, just as dusk then, you get these mirages. And there was a railroad deal alongside the highway, which is about 4 miles away from the track. And all of a sudden these trains would just shorten up and they'd be about 20 feet off the ground, just water under them, you know, running along there. And these things would give you an illusion. And Dad would say that some of the times you have to fight to believe what you were seeing. You know, you knew what it was, but to believe that it's not accurate.
Staying true to his word, John gave me the chance to drive this recreation of the legendary racer. Ab had been trying for years to get the world to recognize the Salt Flats as the premier location for high-speed racing. It was almost perfect. It had a hard-packed surface, yet the salt had a cooling effect on the tires. And with such a wide-open space, they were able to make a 10-mile circular track very cost-effectively. But after Ab's record-breaking run in 1934, the rest of the racing world got the message. He had taken the Pierce Arrow 12, named for its 12 cylinders, and added 6 carburetors, special manifolds, high-compression heads, along with a few other tweaks. This bumped the horsepower from 175 to 235. In this car, Ab set 77 World Unlimited International Class B and American records, averaging over 127 miles per hour over a 24-hour period, and making it all but impossible for the English to beat him without coming over to the flats themselves. And that's just what they did. Throughout the 30s and 40s, the Salt Flats saw many land speed records broken, if not completely shattered. Can you believe that in 1938, George Easton clocked a speed of just over 357 miles per hour? And to this day, the Salt Flats are used to press the limits of land speed racing. I'm really fortunate to have had the chance to witness and drive this marvelous replica of such an important piece of racing history. I hope the Salt Flats will always be appreciated for the natural wonder that they are, and that they'll be preserved for land speed racing for generations to come.